Welcome back to Reliable Sources. I'm Brian Stelter. And this week I took a week off from @RealDonaldTrump. That's right, Sunday through Saturday, I did not look or read about a single one of the president's tweets. And I have to tell you, when you log on and read them all in a row, it really is downright shocking. No, it's not surprising anymore, but it is still seriously shocking. Lambasting real news outlets as fake news has become a crutch for him. Here's one of the many examples. He wrote, "It is the same fake news media that said there is no path to victory for Trump that is now pushing the phony Russia story, a total scam." And here, the president resorting to name calling, saying, when will Sleepy Eyes Chuck Todd and NBC News start talking about the Obama surveillance scandal and stop with the fake Trump-Russia story? So, is that more deflecting, more distracting by the president? Joining me now, Jeff Mason, president of the White House Correspondents Association and a White House correspondent for Reuters. And here in New York, Charles Blow, columnist for the New York Times, and Matthew Continetti, editor of the Washington Free Beacon and contributing editor at the Weekly Standard. Jeff, are you starting to need a flak jacket for these contentious briefings with Sean Spicer?
Well, they certainly have become contentious. There's no question about that. And the fact that it's getting so much attention shows that people are really interested. I think the American public is interested in seeing how the relationship between the press and the White House continues. And they're interested to hear how Sean answers a lot of the tough questions that he's getting from the White House press corps.
Do you trust what he tells you now?
You know, I think it's important to listen carefully and to fact check this administration like we would for any administration. Certainly,
so they're no different. They're no different from any other administration?
I'm not going to contrast. I'm going to say it's important to fact check. And there's no question that there are things that have come out of the mouths of administration officials in this administration, including President Trump, that have not been true. And that requires a steady hand by the press, fact-checking and following up.
So I'm pulling up Trump's Twitter feed since I took a break for the week, and I wanted to ask you, Matthew, about it. His most recent post this morning from the president, he said the real story turns out to be surveillance and leaking. He says, find the leakers. Is this an example, Matthew, of just two alternate realities? That the conservative media is presenting a story about Obama surveillance, and the rest of the media is focusing on why Trump made those claims and on the Russia issue?
I don't think it's two alternate realities. I think it's two different stories. In fact, there's several stories going on here. There's the story of Mike Flynn and the leak. There's a story of the Trump team contacts with Russia, what that means. And then there is this story that's late breaking about Devin Nunes and what kind of collection was going on of the Trump campaign or of Trump family members during the election. The key for me, though, is, Trump was elected to be commander-in-chief, not media critic-in-chief. And I even feel when you go and you talk to a lot of his supporters, there's some kind of exhaustion with the endless criticism of the media. They want to see the jobs. That's what they put him in office for.
But see, I think media critic in chief, it inoculates him. It's an attempt to inoculate him from all the real news coverage that's going on.
I think it works during the campaign, and I think it's a tool Trump uses to introduce news stories into the political discussion, stories that he would prefer people to talk about.
Right.
But at the end of the day, he's going to be judged by results.
Okay, so Charles, it's not a good idea for the president to be calling Chuck Todd sleepy eyes?
Absolutely not. And I think there's something actually Shakespearean about it. I mean, by protesting as much as he does that this is not a story, it makes people who are, the real reporters among the media more suspicious. I mean, you and I have both worked in the newsroom, and those guys are just trying to call balls and strikes as best they can. What people don't seem to understand about most news organizations is that they're bottom-up organizations. They're not top-down. People are not necessarily coming in and saying, we want to craft a story this way, go out and find us a way to do it. Rather, they wait for reporters to kind of search their sources, and whatever they come back to the table with, from that, they cobble together that day's report. And so for those. But
what I wonder is, do Matt's readers believe that? Right?
I don't know.
You're describing how a newsroom works. Matthew, do your readers of the Free Beacon believe that, a conservative-leaning outlet?
I think they do. That's how my newsroom works.
But media bias is the charge every hour of every day from sites like yours.
It's helpful to point out that there's media bias, right? But I mean, reporters pursue stories. I think the president's frustrated that reporters are pursuing one story. He would like them to pursue another. What I'm fascinated by is he is the president. He has the power to declassify all of these documents involved in the Nunes probe. And I think it would be helpful for him to be more transparent, because he's being hit right now by all of these revelations that they weren't forthcoming, whether it's General Flynn or Jeff Sessions.
Hey, that lack of transparency is what I believe makes reporters' antennas stand up. The idea that if you were to say, please go ahead and hang yourselves on this, search as much as you want, you'll find nothing but exculpatory evidence that says that we did nothing wrong. And in fact, because you are selling credibility, you will hang yourselves by doing so.
That's so interesting about the antenna.
The idea that he is saying, nothing there, look everywhere else, shiny thing, to a veteran reporter that says, why are you going so far out of your way to say there's nothing here? Let me hang myself. If not, let me find it. That idea, and the secondary part of that is that he seems to see this as a matter of branding, which is what he's always done. This is how he's built his career. He looks at what is coming out of these reports as damaging his brand, and he's basically saying, you damage my brand, I will damage yours. You continue to report things about me, I will continue to call you fake and false and failing.
And then at the end of the day, everything's just muddied.
Right, and that's but the problem is that media and Donald Trump are playing on two completely different playing fields with two different sets of rules. If media lied as much as Donald Trump lied, we'd be out of business, because but there's nothing else for us to do but to sell credibility and facts. So he's basically operating in a different realm, and he keeps trying to position it as if we are the media and he and politicians are the same thing, and they're just simply not.
I'm running short on time, unfortunately, but thank you all. Thank you, Charles. Matt, great to see you in New York. Jeff, thank you very much as well. Up next here, legendary magazine editor Tina Brown. She covered Trump in her early years, but how would she cover him today? And why she said the president may be good for the feminist movement. She joins me next.